And we are live. Welcome back to Tribal Council, everyone. So, let's start back at the end of last round. So, last round, Drew cancels out 6 votes, and Sammy goes home with 3 votes. So, Dan, what was coming back to camp after a big idol play like that? How was that?
Um, in my opinion, it was actually like surprisingly calm. Um, Maybe I'm just like misunderstanding what happened, but I feel like no one was kind of surprised that something like that like could have happened. So I think everyone was just like, okay, let's regroup and move on from here.
All right. And so then after the vote, it came it was announced that this week would be light week, so there would be no alliance chats, anyways. So, Mark, how's that been affected strategizing happening this round?
I think it's caused a lot less strategizing because it's so hard to maneuver all the different PMs you would have to do to get the majority this round. Um, so it's just made things complicated. Same with like this is the same thing as the Dark Week. It just adds another layer to the strategy you have to use to get the votes to go the way you want.
So, do you think that'll mean that people are more just likely to hop on the first name that they hear and just go with it?
I think we all know that this game has been way too complex and crazy to assume anything is gonna go on the first try.
All right. And let's talk a little bit about the immunity challenge. Let me find the results. So, since you three are here, we can go through some of your own results. So, first of all, Dan, you didn't really get any answers for touchy subjects except one that you were tied with half of the. You were part of half the game. That was the answer for that question. So, how does that make you feel about your
Um,
place in the game?
I mean, I think in some ways like it's good to be like irrelevant and touchy subjects, but also like it is a little worrisome because I feel like people might not be taking my game seriously. So like if I were to make it far into the game, like I worry if people don't see me as like some sort of like threat that they won't vote for me at the end. So I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword in a way, but I'm content with being irrelevant.
I was gonna say I would gladly switch with Dan. I feel like I'd rather be UTR for touchy subjects, and I feel like I got voted for most of them.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. Some highlights for you, Mark. Most bitter juror,
That's
biggest
a fact.
closer,
Also a
best on
fact.
real survivor, who thinks and is also actually running the game, um, and who will win if they get to the end. What do you think about all those different types of
Well,
answers?
I think anybody who's played with me knows that most bitter juror is a fact. That's very true. I think the ones that surprised me were like the ones that said like I was running the game and I would win because I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've been trying to stay under the radar, but I guess I haven't been.
Um, and Pat, you had a couple interesting answers. The interesting pair that I see that you have is you will both make it to the end and lose, but also will win if you get to the end. So, what do you think about that?
Um, I mean, I guess it's just stating the truth that there's a 50-50 chance that if you get to the end, you're going to win. So I just thought that it was funny that I would get that. I wasn't
Shit, I'll
expecting
take
you
a
guys.
50-50 chance to win.
I mean, yeah. So thanks. I don't really know what it says about what people think about me. I'd say that people don't know what to think about me. So I guess that's kind of a bad thing, but I don't know.
Um, it does not look like Chris will be here. So Does anybody else have anything left to say before we get to the vote?
I'm good.
No.
All right, so just some information. As I am reading the votes tonight, I will be saying who cast each vote as they are being revealed. So you will know in real time who has voted for who. So if that is going to affect how you vote, then please make your change or cast your vote in the next 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, entertain yourselves.
I totally forgot about that until
Yeah.
that.
I know. I was reminded like 5 seconds ago, and I was like, oh my god.
I mean, it doesn't
I had
bother
no
me. I'll
idea.
tell people who I voted for them. It's not like, I don't know.
This is gonna get yikesy, huh?
Yeah, this is gonna get real spicy real quick.
No.
Oh, Pat, I love your face.
I'm nervous.
I mean, I feel like people didn't read the post.
I remember hearing like that being a thing, but I forgot it being a thing.
I thought that was like a different round than this one. Like, I do remember reading it, but I thought it already happened.
I'm so glad to be done with the dark and light twists, though.
I can't wait for the rest of the game to be late. And everybody's gonna know.
Wait, the rest of the game is light?
Imagine.
Oh my goodness, no. Having to message everybody individually in PMs? Ugh.
It's okay. I have Patty on my side.
I don't have anything.
I have a dog somewhere. Not like a real dog, a stuffed dog.
What do your sweatpants say, Pat?
Westchester, my college.
Oh God. Oh man. this TV show's funny.
Is that what's funny?
Yeah.
Are you watching Hell's Kitchen? Is that you?
Is that my what?
Watching Hell's Kitchen?
No.
I thought I heard the music from somebody earlier. That's why I said it in the thing.
I'm watching wrestling, so you probably heard like a guy's song when he came out.
Oh.
All right, I have the votes. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
I do. So like I want to play the idol that I won and the reward from that Dark Week. Please.
All right, so Pat is playing the Sapphire Idol. The Sapphire Idol cancels the votes against the two people who got the most votes, regardless of who those two people are. The person with the third highest number of votes will be voted out. If only two people received votes, they will become immune and we will revote immediately.
Mm.
I will read the votes.
I love having immunity.
Same. Wait.
The first vote is Tracy's, and Tracy has voted for Pat. The second vote is Chris's, and Chris has voted for Pat. The third vote is Drew's, and Drew has voted for Pat. The fourth vote is Dan's, and Dan has voted for Pat. That means Pat has 4 votes, which means all of those votes do not count. Pat, you have become immune for the round. The fifth vote is Chelsea's vote, and Chelsea has voted for Tracy. The 6th vote is Mark, and Mark has voted for Tracy. Oh my God. The 7th vote is Pat's, and Pat has voted for Tracy. This means Tracy also has enough votes to become immune. It comes down to Charlotte's vote. If Charlotte votes for either Pat or Tracy, then we will go to a revote. But if she votes for someone else, then that person will be leaving. Charlotte's vote, the 8th vote, and the 14th person voted out of Survivor Islands of Adventure, and the 6th member of our jury is Drew. Drew, the tribe has spoken, and it is time for you to go.
Jesus Christ.
Well, despite what you said about it being light week without very much strategizing, this seemed like a very complicated vote with a lot of moving parts. So if you can do this without alliance chats, the finish line to the end of this game is going to be just as crazy because alliance chats are back open. You may begin to talk in alliance chats again, and you may head back to your camp. Good night.